Well, folks, last episode was an absolute cracker where we explored amazing caves in the Yorkshire Dales and finished off the episode with an amazing chicken casserole. How about that?
Hi there folks, in this part of the adventure series we find ourselves in the heart of the North Yorkshire moorlands. Now if you're interested in a day or two of just relaxed four-wheel driving, walking, seeing the sights, mainly taking in the surroundings, bring the family along, even bring the dog, but enjoy the surroundings. But for now, sit back, relax and enjoy the episode. Right folks, what a way to finish an awesome trip across the northern part of England. We've gone basically from coast to coast, from the west side all the way across to the east side, the Lake District, the Yorkshire Dales and now the Yorkshire Moors. We're in a campsite, nice and quiet, nice and relaxed. And what a good way to finish a trip is getting stuck into the Dutch oven once again. And this time we're going to be cooking or baking a bread and butter pudding. So what we're going to need for this is your fruit loaf. We can get this at local shops. We got this one specifically from Lidl. They have quite a selection of good loaves of bread there. We did add a little bit of Genoa cake from Tesco. I just want to mix it up a little bit. So we're going to crumble this up and add this to the recipe. You need 4 eggs, you need 40 grams of butter, you need a 1/4 cup of caster sugar, 2 cups of milk, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, you're going to need a pinch of cinnamon, and you need a small tablespoon of vanilla essence, and then your double cream. So what we're going to do is first is cut the crust off the bread. And once it's cut diagonally, get that stacked into your Dutch oven. And once that's stacked, mix all your ingredients into a nice bowl and pour that onto your bread in the Dutch oven. Let that soak in for 15 to 20 minutes. So let's get stuck in here. Make sure first things first is always get your fire going. Make sure you get those coals prepared. So what we want to do is just cut the crust off. With the bread here, a bit of a slope here with the table, so it makes things a little bit interesting as usual. And don't throw those crusts away, you can use them, you can chomp on them while you wait for your pudding. Now, this is another great recipe to bring with you while you're camping, especially for the kids and everybody around. So what we want to do now is cut this diagonally, and we're going to stick that into the Dutch oven, get that prepared straight away. So one thing about the butter, if you look at Lurpak, this specifically, if you want to figure out how many grams, especially if you don't have any scales with you, you can have a look on the Lurpak butter packs. They actually have little lines which dictate where your little gram settings are. So 40 grams is literally just over there, just nice and easy. That's when you want to do your butter. So with the bread and butter pudding, we want to make sure that we butter our bread both sides. So we'll quickly do that. before we cut them in half, otherwise we're gonna be here forever. You don't have to specifically use Lurpak. I just like Lurpak. It's a really nice butter. You can use whatever you prefer. For a nice topping of the bread and butter pudding, you can either have custard, you could have ice cream. Again, it's down to personal preference, taste, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be absolutely delicious. All this wonderful, tasty fruit in this loaf here. And just goes to show that even while you're camping, you can still cook really good food. You can eat like a king on the road, and this is exactly what we've been doing for the past week, is cooking and eating like absolute kings. Okay, so once your bread and your Genoa cake, if you can use Genoa cake, it looks like a really nice addition to this, the bread and butter pudding. We're going to start mixing all the ingredients together now. So we want to get our caster sugar straight into the mixing bowl. It's already in good fashion. We're using a bloody basin, but it's all good. Use whatever you can. Get 4 eggs in here. Last but not least, number 4. So be careful you don't get any shells in here. The easiest way to get a shell out is use one of your broken shells and just scoop out the shell, nice and easy. Okay, you've got your caster sugar, you've got your 4 eggs. What we're going to do is get the milk in there. There you go, perfect. 2 cups of milk. Whatever's left over, chuck that straight in there. Get rid of the rubbish to one side. What we want to do is get the double cream in here, get all these ingredients. We're going to start mixing this all together beautifully. You get that poured all over that lovely bread. This is going to be absolutely delicious. Remember, we want to get 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. One and number 2. Perfect. Just all we want is a pinch of cinnamon. Perfect. And then a teaspoon of vanilla essence. Get that teaspoon in there. And one ingredient I didn't mention earlier was, if you do like a nice rum, you can have a nice shot or a couple of shots of nice rum in there, which will really taste amazing, really accentuate the flavor. Don't forget the butter. You want to get that 40 gram of butter in here. So about that much. Get that all in there. Get that protected, get that out of the way. So all we want to do is get this all mixed up quite well. Who would have thought using a bloody basin to mix all your ingredients? That's definitely one for the shopping list next time, is to get a good mixing bowl. And we'll be doing that in due course. I can tell you that right now. So once you've mixed all your ingredients and you're ready to pour that over your bread, there's not to worry if you've got a little bit of lumps, especially with the butter not mixing in correctly. This stuff is going to be in the Dutch oven. It's all going to melt beautifully into the bread, so not to worry. So what we want to do now is get all this beautiful sauce. It looks very similar to like an eggnog. You know, you can imagine a nice, delicious rum in there. So we're going to get that poured all over your bread. This is going to be amazing. Oh. Get all the last bits in there. Not going to waste a drop, I don't think. And once you're ready, let that sink in. Let that seep into the bread for a good 15 minutes. Make sure that all goes into the bread. So a lot of the fluid and the liquid will basically start dissipating into the bread, and that's what you want. And then once you're ready, get that onto the fire straight away. And again, monitor your bread 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown, and then she's ready to go. There we have it, folks. Bread and butter pudding ready to go. And look at all that juicy goodness. Don't get better than that, eh? I'll tell you what, folks. Oh, dinner is served.
Folks, what a great way to end a coast-to-coast adventure. In the next episode, we head to Northern Wales where we enjoy some four-wheel driving, some awesome food, and we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones while we explore some abandoned mines. See you there.